Okay, so I'm continuing on with the website review series with travel bloggers. The why of the site. Is it clear to the reader when they arrive at the site why they're there, and keeping their attention past that first few seconds while they're looking at the screen? So we're going to take a look at My Hindi Heart, American Girl Finding Her Heart and Home in India. Okay, I've got to tell you that is perfect. Your tagline is absolutely perfect. It tells me exactly that you're an American girl finding her heart and home in India. If that's something that I'm interested in, I can relate to, then I would continue on. Let me see if I can find this American girl. There you are, about me. Namaste. Okay, Crystal. Great. Lovely. Um, I would actually move that up above the newsletter sign up. You have your, well, we have a couple things here, but I would have moved that about me up to the higher area, because it flows. I read that, I come down here, I see that you have a busy menu bar. I've got all kinds of things happening here, depending on how I move around. But then I see your picture, and it just establishes the My Hindi Heart, and then Crystal's right there. Boom. Um, so we have two menus. You have your About Me is featured on About the Artist, Work with Me for question, then Contact Me, which is generally you must be doing art also. Home, personal, comic, food, culture, health and beauty, language, love and relationships, and travel. Okay, there's a lot going on in this 3-inch square block here. Um, and then we have this latest update moving, and we have a, excuse me, something just flew right from my microphone. And then we have a rotator here and here. Okay, so my suggestion is either, if you want to keep this, and this is working for you and getting clicks this way, then stop making this a rotator. It's just, my brain's like in overwhelm right now. I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to go next. My eyes are going to go here, right, to this thing that's moving, but then I look down, this thing's moving, and now where am I supposed to go? So one movement is great. Two movements, when they're so close together, when they're in the same, I haven't even scrolled down yet, and I have two movements, is a little bit too much. Um, let's go back to this. We have personal, we have comic, and then, all right. I like the way that the menu comes down to gives you these little previews of the blog posts. Okay, so this one, it does it in personal, comic. It kind of gives me options, but is that all that's in personal? Is just these 4 posts? Let me click on personal and see what happens. I can't click on personal. Okay, so it must just be these 4 posts. This is what I'm seeing. This is how I'm looking at this. Whoops, I did not mean to go there. Let me go back. Okay, so if I go to personal, I'm thinking that the only thing on personal are these 4 options. If that's not the case that you have for the category personal, I would definitely rethink how this is looking, because that's all I would think I have. Food again, so I just have 4 posts on food that include the category of food. Um, it's a neat little bar, but it's limiting you unless there's supposed to be an arrow there. If you do actually have more, then and there is an arrow, then that would be great. So culture just has this one. Health and beauty, now we switch. Now we have a little subcategories. And does Indian fashion then only have 3 posts to it? I can't. Okay, so I just clicked on Indian fashion, I think. No, I guess I didn't. I thought I just clicked on Indian fashion. And what is happening? I don't know what just happened to me. So I'm not sure. Something's not working right there. And I definitely think okay, let's go to hair care. That should be one that's, now my screen below me just is moving all around, and it brought me down to your footer. But okay, so it's trying to bring me to this health and beauty here. Some things, it's a really good looking menu thought, but something's not working right. So you need to take a look at that. I'm really confused. So, especially if I got to health and beauty and I wanted to see about Indian fashion, and I clicked on that, or maybe, now if I clicked on that, we know that I'm going to get this crazy scrolling. If I click on buy my first, sorry. Okay, buying my first, sorry. And that opens up. So, Here's your categories. Well, I'm not going to go through that, but that you definitely want to take a look at that. Something's not working right. And it's taking a long time to load. Just so you know, for your load, it is on a slow load. You probably have a lot of pictures. None of your pictures need to be above like 100 kilobytes. So you might want to take a look at resizing some of those, like in PicMonkey or something, down to 100 kilobyte size, and then re-uploading them and using them, because that was a bit of a delay there. Let me see if I can get, so I have, see now I can't even get, there we go. So I can go to Indian Fashion here. So that must be a tag. But it's taking, see now I've clicked on that and I'm waiting. I'm waiting again. So category, Indian Fashion. Okay, something with the theme isn't catching right. So there are only 3 things under Indian Fashion. Okay. Then maybe this is actually working right. It's just a bit confusing. And then we go back to, see, this one has multiples. And I don't know that, okay, so language, speaking Hindi, love and relationships, intercourse, and travel. I don't know if personal, maybe, I'm just trying to think if you can compress this a little bit more or something, because it's, you have, again, see, it's, I take my mouse from here and I try to get over here and I get all this changing happening. It's a bit overwhelmingly confused, a lot of movement. Anyway, you can take a look at that. Let me get back to the home. So let's go back. Let's just pick a blog post. Okay, I'm home and update. I don't see, that's what's missing. I don't really see an about that gives me more depth on who you are. I'm home and update. Okay, this is good. So you have the newsletter sign up is not working on here. But your about me, see how it comes, I think that's why that newsletter sign up should be below the about me. See how that looks? I'm home, I'm update, and if this about me, I can see that picture all within my screen. I'm on a 14-inch screen, and I can see all that together. So it kind of, I'm home, I can see who I am, it all relates. Now remember that if people are sharing your content, they're not coming to your home page. So if somebody is sharing a blog post of yours, they never got to your home page. So you want to make sure that your blog pages themselves, when people land on them, look like you want them to be. So you're back on the United States. So we have, and then you have some popular posts. That's great. View on Instagram. I don't know what the relevance. I think I would put, these things are not as important to your average reader unless you're, I'm guessing you're not targeting travel bloggers. So these things are really that make more sense to people that are in the travel blogging community. Other people don't. You don't want them really clicking out of your site, and this really isn't of relevance to them. So I think I'd move that your blog circle G plus thing up and put the icons on the back, on the bottom lower. What I'm reading is not showing. And you probably could take your monthly archives. I don't really care for this on travel bloggers because I don't know what month what happened in your life. I'm new, or even if I'm a continuous reader, I can't remember. I can't keep your calendar with what you wrote about. So archives by month just don't do a lot of don't have a lot of value for your reader. Okay, your newsletter sign up. That's what happens. You're using the Facebook plugin, the API to automatic fill, and I would suggest taking that off. One, people get really turned off by the fact that you are now can see my information because I'm still logged into Facebook. It kind of freaks a lot of people out, and then they're like, "Ooh, what does she have some like cookie thing on here tracking me all the time, no matter where I am?" It's just kind of freaky. And 2, look at how long it took. Although we were down at the bottom of the page, it did take a lot longer to load, and you don't want that because if they were interested right when they saw it, not when they got back up to it and it finally loaded up. So I would suggest removing that option for the email list. Today's date and time, not sure that that's really relevant. Okay, so here's your about me. I'm really feeling like the about me should be down here. Let me click on it. Okay. So again, here that newsletter hasn't loaded, still hasn't loaded, and we're going into multiple seconds now. It still hasn't loaded, and yet I have time. I'm reading, right? And I got to where I wanted to go, and now it's loaded. So yeah, you want to deactivate that. Let them just type it in. You're not going to gain anything. Really, the stats show that you don't really gain anything by auto-filling it in. Okay. All right, there's your about. On the bottom of your about, I might say you might want to put either a plugin or a horizontal sign up for your email right in here, because they've read about you and now they're connecting to you, and they could sign up to your newsletter and tell them why you'd want them to sign up or why they'd want to. So these are all blogs, and these are more your static things. I'm just wondering if some of these, I just really think your about should be down here. This is the first thing that I is going to, is this one. And if I don't, like I said, I went through all that, and I had seen it up here when I first started the review, but I forgot completely about it as I got further down. But this is staying with me. This bar, you have it static. So with that, I still don't see an about. Now I can't hop over to an about after I've been looking at one of your blog posts, because I'm not seeing it. I'm in a different, scroll down a little bit. So I'm just thinking an about would be there. But other than that, I really do like the tagline. I do find that it's very stunning, that I know exactly why I'm there. I'm not interested, personally not interested in Indian culture, but that's just me. So I know instantly that this isn't a blog that would relate to me. And so I can decide that I want to continue moving on or not. But I think you did a great job, that your wording there is absolutely perfect. So if you have any questions, or if I went too fast on something, just reach out to me. You know where to find me. Okay, you have your copyrights on there. Okay, that's all good. But, yeah, I think you really need to work a little bit. Something needs to change here. But I talked about that. So have a wonderful afternoon. Let me know if I can help you anymore.